What is up? I'm Christiane Cordero, and this is the 734 from WCCO. We know most of you are about to head out the door, maybe head to work, so let's get you started strong with today's weather. Balmy 19 degrees this morning, and that's going to stay that way through noon today. We're topping out at 21 with some sun. And then Riley O'Connor says that the clouds are partly cloudy later this evening, 17 degrees, a little bit warmer than it was yesterday, that's for sure. All right, now let's talk about this. Still looking for that perfect gift for your someone special? Little advice, take it or leave it. Most Americans value experiences, as it turns out, over the perfectly wrapped presents. A recent survey by market research from Mintel found that about 50% of consumers preferred an experience gift over a tangible item. That could be a night out, tickets to a concert, or a trip. That's a big increase from last year when about 17% held the same sentiment. So what do you think about this? Do you want to go skydiving? Do you want to do something else, maybe a little bit more tame? Yeah, there you go. That's more like it. Maybe poolside, travel, culinary classes. What do you got? Or do you prefer something tangible? Is there something specific you're looking for this year? Those watching on Facebook, go ahead and leave a comment, and we'll get through a few of those in just a moment. Let's get to the news. The last Minnesota National Guardsman killed in a helicopter crash will be laid to rest today. The funeral for Chief Warrant Officer Charles Nord is this morning in Perham. Nord was one of 3 men who died when their chopper crashed near Kimball earlier this month. Investigators still haven't said what caused the crash. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz plans to attend today's service and has ordered flags to fly at half-staff. It's an historic week in Washington. The full House is expected to vote on articles of impeachment against President Donald Trump. How will Minnesota lawmakers vote? Well, 4 Democrats say they will vote yes. That includes Angie Craig and Dean Phillips. Fellow Democrat Colin Peterson says he will likely break from his party and vote against impeachment. Phillips gave some context to his vote on WCCO Sunday morning.
My job is to make a decision not whether to convict the president, whether or not the evidence is enough to warrant a trial. And I do believe it does.
The vote could happen as soon as Wednesday. We dodged a major winter storm that made quite a mess of the roads to our south yesterday. Kansas City, Missouri got several inches of snow. Check that out. If you're watching the Chiefs versus Broncos yesterday, you definitely saw that firsthand, as did drivers. Missouri State Highway Patrol responded to more than 400 crashes. More snow is expected today and tomorrow. Hallmark is apologizing after pulling commercials last week that featured same-sex couples. The company's CEO now says it was the wrong decision to pull those ads. The ads were for the wedding planning site Zola. One featured 2 brides kissing at the altar. The network pulled the ads when it got a complaint from the conservative group 1 Million Moms. Online backlash was swift, with the boycott Hallmark hashtag even trending on Twitter. And after the apology, Zola basically said thanks but no thanks. It will no longer advertise with Hallmark. I'm a big believer that sports can bring people together like nothing else, and this story is as good of an example as it gets. Newtown, Connecticut is most widely known for that fatal shooting at Sandy Hook Elementary in 2012. On the weekend of its 7-year anniversary, its high school football team won the state championship. The game began with a moment of silence in remembrance of the 20 first graders and 6 adults who died in that attack. Newtown scored on the last play of the game. It won 13-7. Many of the players knew victims or their families or had attended Sandy Hook Elementary. Those first graders would have been 8th graders now, so certainly something that needs no explanation. It hits so close to home. The actor best known for his role as Chelsea Handler's sidekick has died. Chuy Bravo was taken to an emergency room in Mexico City Saturday with a stomach ache. According to People magazine, he died sometime after that arrival. Chuy was 63 years old. Starting today, people visiting Seattle SeaTac Airport will be able to get past security without, get this, a boarding pass. SeaTac will now let up to 100 people pass TSA without a boarding pass. Airport officials say wait times shouldn't increase at the security checkpoints. You have to sign up online at least 24 hours in advance, though. Detroit's main airport is testing a similar program. A Twin Cities Animal Rescue opened its doors to a special adoption event this weekend. Secondhand Hounds wants to see all of their animals find forever homes. Interested families could meet a number of dogs and cats at the Minnetonka shelter. It is the season of giving, but a warning if you're hoping to put something furry under that tree.
We are getting close to Christmas, and we do know that dogs and cats, they are forever gifts. So if they do go home as a gift for Christmas, it's a wonderful idea, but that's not just a holiday. It's a forever family member.
Yeah, that shelter says many animals are returned after the holidays. Sometimes families realize they weren't ready for a new pet. The countdown is on to get those holiday packages out on time. Don't procrastinate. The last day for FedEx ground and home delivery is today. The deadline for 2-day delivery is this Friday. That'll cost you a little bit more. For UPS 3-day, you have until this Thursday or by the end of the week if you're pushing it. At the post office, the deadline for first class mail is Friday, so go ahead, take care of it. Do it now. Stop watching this. Take care of yourself. I'm just kidding. Keep watching. It's a popular holiday tradition for many people, but Secret Santa apparently brings out the Scrooge and, get this, millennials. Yeah, surprise, surprise, we're hating on millennials. According to a report by JobSite, a majority of workers between 23 and 38 years old are not a fan of the holiday game. The reason why is money. The UK Jobs Board found 73% of millennial workers participate in Secret Santa even though they cannot afford it. 26% say they have to dip into savings to contribute. A second grader in Bloomington got her Christmas wish a week and a half early this year. Check it out.
My wish is my dad being home again. I really miss Dad. My dad has not been here since March.
8-year-old Kaylee told that to Santa at Bloomington's VFW's annual children's Christmas party yesterday. After reading her letter, Kaylee got to pick out a gift, not knowing the real surprise that awaited her.
I forgot to give you a present. Is that okay?
Gets you every time. Senior Chief Dustin Arnold will be home for a couple of weeks before he deploys again in January. This was his 5th deployment, but only his 2nd with his family, and says it gets harder to be away the older his daughter gets. Okay, let's get back to today's talker. We're bringing in WCCO's digital gal, Allie. Hi, Allie. What are people saying?
I think that most people are in agreement that experience gifts are better.
Okay.
Nikki says they're way more memorable.
Fair.
Yes. Paul says a poolside water park getaway is good for the kids.
Very specific, Paul. I hope somebody that would buy you that is watching.
And Becca says experiences are great, but they don't have to be as extreme as skydiving.
Yeah, opportune time to bring that up as we show skydiving. Yeah, that's a little much. Like, what if that person doesn't want to go skydiving?
Exactly.
And you're like, oh, now I have
you're
this thing.
You're kind of committed.
Yeah, if you see some skydiving ads on Craigslist, you know what's up. Thanks, Allie. Appreciate it. That's it for now. This is the 734 from WCCO, and most of the Twin Cities are on the go, so go ahead and make us your place for mobile news. We'll be back here tomorrow at 7:34, and until then, be nice to each other out on the internet.